Okay, so if you followed me for the last few years, you know exactly what I think about the theatrical releases of The Chosen. I love the idea, I love the experience, but I do think that it is prohibitive for a lot of different people to be able to go to the theaters, especially 3 times in 1 month. So this particular release of season 4, while it is amazing, and of course I'm going to go to the theatrical releases, it does cause a lot of different issues, and I'm definitely not the only one that thinks so. Even in the past, as we've had a couple of different episodes in the theaters here, or a couple different episodes in the theaters there, or a Christmas special in the theaters once a year, whatever it is, we've always had complaints about how it's being distributed because The Chosen is marketed as this global phenomenon, as this major family product where everybody is in on the family and we're one big family no matter where you're from, no matter what language you speak. And yet, there are issues here when it comes to how it actually gets released from the theatrical release into the app and everything else. This oftentimes can make my job either really hard or it can make things better. For example, in this season in particular, I'm able to make longer sort of overview videos, and then I know later on in the app I'm going to be able to do deep dives, but those deep dives, are they going to get more or less views for me depending on, what the excitement level is of The Chosen coming out. Now, the interesting thing here is how they decided to do the theatrical release for The Chosen Season 4. In the United States, and I think in Canada as well, you basically have all of the episodes coming out. If you're in Canada and that's not the case, let me know, because I might be wrong about that. It may just be in the US. But I know in the US, we are getting episodes 1, 2, 3, then 4, 5, 6, then 7 and 8, which is coming out this Thursday. So we're getting all the episodes that are coming out in theaters first, and then they're going to come out in the app later. However, internationally, as far as I'm concerned, everywhere internationally, you are only getting 2 episodes, if you get any episodes at all. Why is that? We're going to talk about that in this episode, but I'm definitely not the only one that has been thinking about this. There's actually this clip that I wanted to show you first of some of the cast who actually was talking about this last night on Instagram Live.
It is really, really tough to talk without spoilers, but I definitely wanted to bring up just the lengths. So different countries are getting treated to different amounts of episodes. And we had the opportunity to see 1 and 2 here in Mexico City, which I'm still currently in Mexico City. It also super surreal to there's a dubbed component, right? That's happening in theaters here in Mexico. So it's not what's it called? ¿Cómo se llama? It's not captions. It's actual dubbing now. But
you dub yourself?
I was about to ask that.
I think it's pretty cool that people are sitting through 3. I mean, if you think about what that means, it means that we're closer to 2.5 hours, 3.5 hours, and for a filmic experience of the theater, I think that just says a lot. I will say though that I wish, because this is something that's been reflected back to me already, I wish that there was maybe an immediate release of the episodes that we take out of the theaters on the app, so that people
I was going to ask that.
Yeah, so that people don't feel inclined to not go see 4, 5, 6 if they missed 1, 2, and 3. And I think we're learning a little bit about what it means to kind of have the responsibility of a theatrical release, and what are the cracks that that people can fall through. We're all busy. We all have busy lives, busy schedules. Let's say you didn't get 1 through 3. You're obviously not going to want to spoil 4 through 6. So that's just really cool, man. I once again, this has never been done before, so I think we're learning a lot from it. But I would have loved to have seen an immediate straight to the app sort of thing. I think that would have sort of, who knows? I mean, I can only speculate, right? I don't get paid to do this, but for those people that could just see 1 through 3 and then bam, but who knows? I mean, like I said, I'm not smart enough to really answer these questions. I just know that there's some people that have reflected to me that they've just kind of can't go see the next few episodes because they've missed the first ones. So I was interesting.
It must be. So what? Yeah, you're saying it 1 through 3 was released in cinemas. Now that they're out of cinemas, let's make it available possibly on the app. I have a feeling that because of the scattered releases throughout each of the countries, for example, Mexico's just getting one to two now in cinemas. So I guess what more to what you're saying, it could possibly be that it tries to be released simultaneously around the world, but that there is a huge, massive, experience kind of movie studios that do that to release a television series that is episodic and can be 1 to 2 in one country and 1 to 3 in another. That's probably why we've seen it a little
I
scattered.
didn't even think of that. That's such a great response to, yeah, the fact that if you drop it on the app, then you can't really drop it at a different time frame in any other
Mm,
country.
mm.
That's such a great point. Wow. Well, it's so complex, right? Like that. I think that's what you get. You get like the gray areas that come from trying to do something that's never been done.
So obviously, I'm not the only one that's thinking about this. There's a lot of different things that go into this, and obviously the cast here have the same thoughts. I don't think they were given any talking points. I think they were just honestly talking in this candid way about what is going on with the releases and what's to be expected. Some people are on the far side of they should release everything in the app and in the theaters. Then if people want to go to the theaters, they can do that. Some people were saying once the theatrical release of a specific set of episodes is done, they should put it in the app right then so that everybody can have access to it. But the thing is, if The Chosen wants to make money in the theaters like they have been doing for future seasons and different different things that they're doing, in my mind, I think they're preparing for different series and shows even after The Chosen, then of course they're not going to want to put out the episodes in the app just 2 weeks later, because then everybody's going to know, oh, I can just wait 2 weeks and I don't have to go to the theater if they don't want to pay for it, or if they want to just wait for it to be on the app. So obviously The Chosen wants to maximize income in the theaters, which I don't blame them for in any way. I think that's a very smart thing to do. You should be maximizing that income, and then afterwards they want to put it on the app for free for everybody, right? And then you can donate if you'd like to support the show. That's always kind of been the model since they've been doing these new things in the theater overall. But obviously I think this is way more complicated than a lot of us give it credit for. We can't just release everything at all times and have it all be ready, at least as fast as we may want it to be, and especially because there are limitations in terms of how these different things work. Now, I talked to some of the Chosen team to ask about why it is that only 2 episodes were shown internationally and all of the episodes are being shown in the US. Well, the general answer that I got here is because of the international distribution that they have at the Chosen. Some of the things that they're working with Lionsgate and some different things obviously are working very, very well, but their international distributor is not as strong yet. They don't have as much pull or as much power to get theaters overseas, and it's really, really difficult to get theaters in different countries where you're not really a known quantity. Remember, this is a TV show. This is not a feature-length movie where there's Hollywood actors and actresses and people know that this is going to do well. So in order to get theater space, you have to know that this is going to perform, that your theater space is going to give you a return on an investment from whatever show or movie you're showing. So since this is such a new thing of TV shows being in theaters, it really does change the dynamic, especially when it comes to international involvement here. If you have a country that has no understanding of what The Chosen is, or is not able to produce the ticket sales for The Chosen, then it could cause some issues for them and they could lose money on that, which means they wouldn't want to invest in it in the first place. So I'm sure a lot of different countries are having a hard time giving The Chosen the needed theatrical space that they would need for all of these episodes. Remember, this is 3 different movies that would be released in 1 month. This is a large experiment that many theaters probably aren't interested in being a part of, right? And so internationally, it was very, very difficult for them to guarantee these theaters and get these different spots for all of the episodes. That being said, why did they just release 2 episodes and not 3, like the first showing in the US? Well, in the US, we had episodes 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5, 6, and then next we're going to have 7 and 8 to finish off the series, or the season. So overseas, you guys only got episodes 1 and 2. Why is that? That is because they didn't want to leave you off on episode 3. Episode 3 is a very important episode. If you haven't been spoiled yet, I won't spoil anything here, but episode 3 is a very important episode to the series and to this season in particular, and it really sets the tone for the season in a lot of ways. So that episode, they didn't want to leave you on it because they felt like people would be mad, or there would be some controversies or some different things that happened with episode 3 in particular. And so they didn't want to leave you on that episode as to, make it the best sort of experience possible, without having you wait, several months to see the next episode, episode 4. So anyway, there's a lot that goes into it there, but I hope this gives you a better idea about why The Chosen did what it did, why international places are only getting the first 2 episodes. But here's the last thing I want to say is when these episodes are going to come out on the app. I think these episodes are going to come out very soon on the app. They've been sending out emails talking to us about this, talking to us about what is going to be coming out and when they're doing that. They're finalizing the dates now. We got an email about that just recently. And so we're going to see these episodes in the app, I think, very soon. My guess is that right after March 10th, when the finale of the season is done showing in theaters, then it will open up in the app at some point between the 10th and the 15th. That's my guess. I don't actually know. I have no inside knowledge of this at all, and I'm sure even if I asked the Chosen team, they wouldn't tell me. So, that's kind of where I'm sitting now. I think it's probably between the 10th and the 15th. Then they're going to start showing them either weekly or maybe in chunks, but I doubt it. I think they're going to want to elongate the time that these episodes are released. So my guess is that they're going to start releasing weekly, most likely on a Sunday night, just like we've seen in the past few seasons, between March 10th, right after March 10th would be my guess, sometime in there. So that's the best that I can do for now. We'll have more information updating you later on, and so stay tuned to the channel, subscribe, like this video if you haven't already, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.